Alright, it's Dreadman here, and we're going to do a little interview today. And we're doing an interview with DisgraceD. Alright, so, just tell me everything you've got going on in the band and how you got started. Let's start with how you got started.
Oh, man. Okay. We're going to go back a long time ago, way back in the day when dinosaurs still roamed the earth. And then we're going to just skip forward to actually about 1990. As most of you guys know, I'm an old man, but I've been doing music for a very long time. During the 90s, I was involved in the Erie hardcore scene and the Lake Effect hardcore scene. And then I just got burned out on it. And I'd always listened to industrial music and industrial metal like Ministry, Nine Inch Nails, Bile, Hansel and Gretel, all these bands that I really enjoyed, Static X, now I'm drawing blank, Dope, Cold Chamber, and I always wanted to make music like that. So when things fell through with a couple of the projects that I was working in at the time, I took a little bit of time off, and then turn of the century, I decided to start an industrial project, and DisgraceD was born.
All right, okay. How much music do you have out there right now?
I am actually working on my 9th studio release right now.
Wow.
Yes. We have 6 full-length albums, 2 EPs, and I'm working on our 7th full-length album.
Wow. I didn't even know that much. I didn't know you had that much out. And I'm usually pretty good with researching this stuff.
Well, a lot of it's not... I mean, every band's beginnings, like we have stuff that we still play from the beginnings of stuff,
right.
But the recordings of that weren't all that great, and we don't have the masters to fix them.
Oh, I understand.
So we don't release that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at our official, still on iTunes and Google Play kind of stuff, we have 42 over 666s on there. We had Suicidal Teddy Bears on there, but we pulled it down for a while because it wasn't selling, so why have it up? Why pay for it?
Sure.
And then, there's Wicked the Weak, both versions of it. There's The Disease, there's Suicidal Teddy Bears, there's 42 over 666, there's...
I'm going to have to get all this stuff myself.
Premature Ejaculation. I'm trying to remember the names because some of these I haven't done. We have, there's a live CD that we have out there. We're working on the Worst of the Worst, which is going to be our best of CD.
Okay.
But it's like,
So obviously you've gone through some band members.
Well, I mean, everybody starts a band with the delusion of grandeur.
Yeah,
everybody.
Sure.
Even when you join a band that's semi-successful, you have that same delusion of grandeur. And when it doesn't immediately pan out, some people get a little upset. For the most part, we've gone, years in between members. We get older. Some people get burned out.
Yeah.
Some people have families. We push for openness. DisgraceD actually is owned by itself. So whoever the standing members of DisgraceD are the people who own DisgraceD.
Right.
If I was to quit DisgraceD right now, it would go to Subject Zero and Mistress.
Right. Okay.
Mistress happens to be a founding member, but they would be the actual owners of the band.
Right. That's kind of cool. It works that way.
Well, it makes it simpler because, in a local band, if you want it to last, you have to have something in there that'll let it do that. And if I were to quit and then they were to continue forward and I was to get upset about it, then they would be screwed out of music that they helped make.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I see this all the time too with band members quitting and one's angry and
we actually
want to go on.
We scrapped an entire album because of 2 of the members leaving about 6 years ago. And it wasn't worth the argument or the fight, and I wasn't happy with the CD anyway. It was good because the kid who was in charge of writing it was our former guitar player John Doe.
Right.
He was writing it, and I enjoyed parts of it, and I hated parts of it, but it was his baby, and I figured, because we were not happy. We weren't friends, the 2 of us. at all.
Right,
He didn't like
gotcha.
me. I didn't like him. We fought constantly. There's a couple times he smashed me in the face with his guitar because he's an asshole.
Wow.
Yeah, like he would.
Wow.
I'd be doing my thing at the front of the stage, and he would come to the front of the stage, pull back, and just crack me in the face with his thing because he wanted to come to the front of the stage and wank his guitar on the front of the stage, and it's like, that's not how Disgrace works. Disgrace is supposed to be a unit. We're a theater piece. Every piece has to function together.
Right.
And he just wanted it to be about him. And when he left, I mean, I had already figured out how to play 70% of the music that he wrote, but I didn't like it. It wasn't Disgraced. It was, much heavier, which isn't a bad thing.
Right.
It was like speed metal, and Disgraced isn't a speed metal band. We're a theatrical industrial band.
Right. And that's all I've ever actually heard you as an industrial sounding metal band. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why go away from
what works?
Yeah.
We've achieved regional success. I can book shows anywhere on the East Coast. I can even book shows on the West Coast if I want to, but those cost money. But I can book anywhere on the East Coast and go play shows right now. So that's some kind of success for a regional act.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I've seen that you've been playing out. Definitely not in this area, that's for sure. So.
No. See, when you have a band that achieves success, or at least on any level, you will always have someone who, for lack of layman's terms, is a hater.
Right.
And I have about 4 people right now that can't keep my dick out their mouth. And like I'm flattered by some of the things. Like the rumors have gotten so extreme for the simple fact of, like, when they try and use truthful shit, nobody cares because it's standard truthful shit. So they just embellish it to the thing, and I'm like, I feel like Shakespeare or Dr. Seuss or something. I'm like, I'm not this famous. I'm really not this famous. But hey, if you want to go ahead and do that, the proof is in the pudding. If anybody believes these rumors, it's easy to check up on whether or not they're true. Because there's police records that can check on things. There's websites that can check on things. There's all kinds of things. It's that simple. It's like... And the funniest part about it is one of the things that I'm accused of, one of the 4 people did it. And it's pretty horrible. But I'm not involved.
That I didn't... That part of it I did not know.
It is what it is. He is someone who's not actually attached to the 2 people that are involved in doing that. He's someone who is a side person in the whole thing, and he lives in my hometown, and I don't know if he was just trying to get the attention off of him or what, but it is what it is.
Right.
It is what it is. I've come to understand that when you make a band and you call it Disgraced, things are going to become larger than life.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
So, all I would say is to anybody, take anything you hear with a grain of salt, and if it sounds like something that might not be true, don't believe what you hear, because you can easily check it out. Like, if somebody says that I've done criminal activity, I have 2 things on my criminal record from 1999 and 2001. You're more than welcome to go check out my criminal record, which is public. That's the funniest thing. It's all public information, like 100% public information.
Right.
You can very much so go. And it's like I have a disorderly conduct and a simple assault from when I was 19 and 21.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes, the Dread Man does have a disorderly conduct in there too. Yes, indeed.
It happens. It happens. I don't know how I don't have any drunken intoxications, but...
I got mine in 90. But yeah, that is very true. It is all public knowledge, and just go look it up. You know?
Very much so.
So, okay, you guys have been around, like, Well,
we're getting ready to celebrate our 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, for a long
putting together
time.
something really big for it. Really big. I'd like to do something locally, but I don't know. It might or might not happen locally. But we're definitely putting together something really big. Getting a couple of our larger friends involved, and we got a huge set of shows planned for this. Like it's going to be. I would love to have it in Erie and get it involved because it's going to be the biggest thing that's ever hit the 814 scene for sure.
Oh wow!
If it hits the 814 scene, it might skip the 814 scene because I really don't want to deal with the bullshit.
Right? Yeah,
You know? It's like when the band drama gets to the point where you have another band that's supposed to be your friend going around telling people that you're not worth hearing and they should leave before you play.
Right.
That's some shady shit, and that's the kind of stuff that I've had to deal with in this scene.
Right. Yeah, that's absolutely not. No, see, I don't see all of this stuff. Even though I'm very involved in the scene, I don't get to see all of this stuff.
But let me ask you
I
this.
just hear what I hear.
But let me ask you this. The second you told people you were going to be interviewing a member of Disgrace, what happened?
They did mention you.
Sure they did.
Absolutely, yes,
I'm
indeed.
sure they did.
Yeah, and this is how I've heard all
But this is what
the-
I say to all those people that mentioned me. Thank you, you're keeping me famous.
You do make a good point there.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can be famous or you can be infamous. Either which way you're known.
You're right. Yeah.
You know? There's thousands of people that are involved in the Erie metal scene. One way or another, they all know me.
You're right.
You have any idea how many times I've taken this makeup off and talked to people and they had no idea they were talking to me, but they were talking shit about me? I think it's funny.
Wow.
I think it's funny. It's like, oh, that's awesome. You have no idea who you're talking to. But they knew me. They knew me so well. It's like, okay.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yep.
So what do you have planned? What's the big thing, if you can talk about that?
I cannot. All I can say is that if I can put this together, it's a small mini tour. I can tell you that.
Okay.
And it's going to be a very, very entertaining show. We have been talking with several of our larger friends, and we have several very cool things in place. We're planning on hopefully releasing the new CD this year. The new CD is called the Carnival Genesis, and it's going to be followed up by the Carnival Exodus. It's a 2-part series.
That's cool.
I don't know when we're going to finish Exodus. I'm hoping to finish Genesis this year.
Right.
And we just have, we're just going to light it up big time. Like, that's always been Disgrace's goal, is to go out and put on the biggest show possible. I mean, when we played with Static X, we played our first show with them. They let us do whatever we wanted. By the time we played our second show with them, we were playing with no lights. We were playing with minimal sound. Like the tour manager openly said, yeah, you guys can't have your show. And we're like, why not? And they're like, well, you're going to at least turn on the house lights for us? No. It's like,
wow.
Okay, so we rocked, 2,000 people in the dark. It's like, okay, fine. We'll do what we have to do. And you know what? 2,000 people fucking loved us. So, hey, it is what it is. When we played with Fear Factory, I was so intimidated. It was like one of my favorite shows of all time. We did so well that we did so well that we pulled all of because the way you remember how Peabody's was set up, right?
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
ever go they had the 2 stages, and then one stage played and the other played, but sometimes they overlapped.
Right.
Well, the Fear Factory show, there was a 10-minute overlap in each band. And we were the 3rd band that played on the 2nd stage.
Mm-hmm.
And we pulled so many people into the Cove stage that the members of Fear Factory came to watch us play to see who had just annihilated their touring band. Because I think we were up against Silent Civilian was the name of the band.
Right.
They were the opening band on main stage. And we were the 3rd or 4th band in over here. And we had a packed room. And I remember I'm sitting there, we're playing a song that we have called Excess. And I'm like, and I need a little of this. and she needs a little of that, and I look over and I need a little, and I happen to glance at the door and I got Burton T. Bell and Dino standing there like, yeah, I'm like, panic, because like, Burton T. Bell is like one of my heroes.
Oh,
and
sure.
And then, you know, unfortunately we we got offered the Shock the Earth tour when they did that, but we couldn't do it because a lot of people don't know the way things work in the top end music world is you buy your spot.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure.
And they wanted $25,000 for it.
Yeah.
I just didn't have 25 grand.
Yeah.
You know, typically I would have needed 50 because, you know, you have to have $25,000 in merch.
Right,
so that you can make your money back and at least try and break even. And I don't know. I wish I could have done it because that would have been amazing to be like, yeah, we did the Shock the Earth tour with Fear Factory.
Yeah, probably would have propelled you to a next level too, kind of.
20 years gives you a lot of stories. You know?
Yeah,
like
sure.
the lead singer of Sepultura has one of our suicidal teddy bears that he bought from us and gave to our band or gave to his daughter. Because he enjoyed our band that much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like super like, oh my God. And it was again Peabody's. Like we owe a lot of our success to Peabody's in Cleveland. Like Cleveland is an amazing city. We love Cleveland. And we love Peabody's and we love the Agora.
Been out there myself, which is
horrible.
horrible.
Oh no. Well, I mean, hopefully I can change that for you because like Peabody's is gone, but the Agora is still there and it's being run by Peabody's staff. You have the Odeon. You have what the hell's the name of that place? The Grog Shop.
Yeah, Grog
I mean,
Shop.
there's so many really cool places to go in Cleveland. They have an amazing palette. I mean, you said you're from the Philadelphia area. I mean, the food selection in the Philadelphia area is amazing. The food selection here sucks. It's not until you start to travel that you realize that there is such a thing as culture. You know, I went to the best Indian food restaurant I wanted. Is a place called the Taj Mahal, a generic as hell name, in Madison, Wisconsin. And like I walked in the door and my mouth started salivating because I had never smelled something so good. Like the place reeked of curry and garlic. And it was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So, I mean, you know, depending on where you go, there is different culture, there's different things. I mean, the difference between here and Philadelphia is amazing.
Right.
You know, and Philadelphia has a lot of really good points. I mean, fuck, you guys made the cheesesteak. Thank you.
my favorite food.
Yeah. And, you know, I actually learned a Philadelphia cheesesteak recipe that I can feed my friends because we don't have Philly cheesesteaks here. We've got shitty steak subs that have cheese sauce on them. And it's like, no, dude, you use white American cheese, you melt that shit in while you're cooking it. Stop it!
Yeah. White American cheese. You really know, man.
You know, a lot of people think I make things up. You know, 90% of what I say is true. 10% of what I say might be made up, or it might be true. You don't know.
That's cool, man. So you can't tell me too much about the big thing. I know you've told me some things off camera.
All I'm going to say is this. If we get the chance to do this in Erie, it will be the show of the 21st century in Erie. It'll be the biggest thing that has ever hit the 814 scene. Unfortunately, we probably won't get the opportunity to do it in Erie because there's a lot of haters in the Erie metal scene. But I don't care about those haters, so if I have the opportunity to make it happen, I'm going to make it happen. And I don't care if we pay to 10 people or 10,000 people. I'm going to put on that show if I have the opportunity to make it happen. Right. But it's a big if. It's a big if.
I am a promoter. Did I mention that?
Well, maybe we can make it happen. I don't know. But it's one of those things where it will be the pinnacle of anything that has ever happened in the 814 scene. And that's saying some things, because we've had some pretty decent shows going on out there, man. I mean, like, I miss bands like Biotech, who used to put on this giant show.
About that,
and I miss bands like, I think Crawl is still together, but they're not really playing. They broke up?
No, unfortunately.
It's a for now thing, man. It's a for now thing. Those guys are always like, I'm doing it, I'm not doing it. But then they get together and they have a good time, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, Jeff kind of put the end to that. I know Scott hasn't been too happy about that, and he's still wanting to do something, but
You know,
And
all
then,
I'll say is this.
Dan's just Dan. You know, Dan will probably do it if he gets called back to do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, you know, Jeff, stop. Have fun. Go play it. We love Crawl. Knock it off. Scott, don't lose hope. Crawl's amazing. Love you guys.
That's cool. Yeah, that's another long-time institution there. That's for sure, yeah.
It is. They are the only band. See, the only difference between us and them is that we haven't broke up. But they're the only band with the same amount of, more tenure than us, because they're a 30-year project,
right.
and we're a 20-year project.
Right.
We just haven't broken up. Even when we lose members, I've been able to put things back together with, new members, and it's like we never lose more than like one member.
Right.
And every time we've lost a member and had to move forward, we've been able to make the show that much better. So, it's always gotten bigger and better, and it's been a build and a build and a build and a build. And it's like, I'm not going to say that this current thing is our pinnacle, because every time I say that, something happens, and then I have to build it better.
Right.
It's like a Lego thing. When you first put it together, you build a T-Rex, but it doesn't look like a T-Rex. It looks like it looks like a busted up iguana. It's like, oh. And then the second one looks like a smartly, a little bit better iguana. And then the next one looks like a raptor. And then the next one looks like an Allosaurus. And then the next one looks like a T-Rex. And then the next one might look like a Spinosaurus.
Right. I got you.
You don't know. You never know. Because there's always a way to do something better. There's always a way to build it bigger. Always. But the idea needs to be on the show.
Yeah.
We're entertainers at heart. Every single musician out there, we're entertainers. Our job is to make sure that the people who come to the shows have a good time. So, message, if you stop talking shit and try and get people to just see you and bring people to the overall show and have a good time with them, they will have fun and want to come back. And then you won't play to dead rooms. Message! A little bit of show throwback to Don't Drink Your Gin and Juice in South Central while...
Yeah.
Wait, shit, I screwed up the name. Oh, Don't Be a Menace in South Central while drinking your gin and juice in the hood. That's the name of the movie. I just watched it the other day. I love that movie.
Yeah, there definitely is issues with the Erie scene.
They're not non-fixable issues. Here's the thing. I am in one of the few bands in Erie that's done something with themselves outside of Erie. I'm not a rock star. And if I'm not a rock star, nobody in Erie's a rock star. So shut the fuck up and just have fun. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I think they will definitely get that message.
I'm sure they'll talk shit on that too. How dare he? Whatever. I don't care.
Without mentioning names...
Fair enough.
Did you want to elaborate on the accusations against you?
If you want to discuss it, I'm happy to discuss it, because like I said, the accusations against me are completely 100% bogus, and they are 100% provable to be bogus.
Okay.
So, there are 2 former members of DisgraceD, and a couple of their entourage, that are telling people that members of DisgraceD, including myself, mainly myself, only me, have sex with underage girls. Now, if I had sex with underage girls and this Me Too movement came through, I would have been arrested, I would have been charged, I would be put in jail as a pedophile. I would be on Megan's list, and that. My real name is Mark C. Watkins. I live in Girard, Pennsylvania. You're welcome to look up my criminal record, which has a disorderly conduct and a simple assault from 20 years ago on it. And you can check Megan's list. I ain't on it. Because I have never in my life, ever, and I stress this, even when I was underage, I've never had sex with an underage girl. There is a line in the sand that you draw. Now, every rock star on the planet has had, or musician on the planet, has had barely legal people that they have, done stuff with. But barely legal is legal. And it's like, it was.
Yeah, they're over 18. They're over 18.
Yeah, it is what it is. And it does vary by state, and there are states that I don't hold that same standard to. Like I said earlier, the states there are 2 states in here that have a legal age of consent at 13, which is way too young. Like a 13-year-old girl has no idea what they're getting involved in. But like, okay, let me start by saying that I am not supporting rape culture in any way, shape, or form, because I don't believe that rape is right. But I also don't believe that a false accusation of rape is right.
Right.
Because it's destructive towards someone that they may have emotionally hurt you and the relationship didn't work out, but I'm sorry that the 4.5 billion other vaginas on the planet are just as good as yours. Get over it. Get over it. You know? It's really what it works down to. You cannot think that it's right to try and destroy someone's life because your relationship didn't work out. Now, for anyone who's involved in that is a rape victim, go you. More empowerment to you. Don't force the tea. There's enough vagina out there that no one should ever have to take it. And if you're really feeling that up to it, there are women who, for a little bit of money, will give you some vagina. There is no reason for anyone to take vagina.
Right.
So, for actual rape victims, and I really feel bad about this Me Too movement because it's ruining things for them.
Right.
For every false accusation of rape or every dumbass thing that gets lumped in with rape, that diminishes the severity of what rape actually is.
Right.
So you get this thing. My boyfriend didn't love me enough. He raped me. For the girl that actually went through something that was rape, you're an asshole. So if that story fits you, if that story doesn't fit you, it is what it is. If you don't like my opinion, tough shit. This is the United States of America, and here in the United States of America, I have the right to an opinion.
Yes, yeah, that is certainly true.
It doesn't have to be popular. It doesn't have to be popular. But we're making it so that freedom isn't free. If you have to constantly walk on eggshells because you're afraid that some asshole is going to make a false accusation against you, that's not right. And if you can build something that someone can just say that you did something without having to prove it,
right.
And again,
that does fake news issue.
It is. It's very much so a fake news issue, and it sucks when it actually is fake news. I don't support Trump. I don't care if someone does. Right. It's thing. I'm willing to debate with people. I'm willing to show the evidence of the words that I make. I try and be as factual as humanly possible. I have come to realize that the second they don't actually have facts, they just call you an idiot and a moron and say nobody likes you and start being assholes and being trolls, but I don't care. Because I'm still the kind of guy that's like, rise above it. Because the only way politics is going to work is if we stop realizing that there is no left, there's no right, there is no Democrat, there's no Republican, there is no black, there is no white. It literally is, we are the United States of America. We're a fucking melting pot. On the side of the Statue of Liberty, it says, bring me your sick, your old, and your poor. It doesn't say, bring me your white, your wealthy, and your fucking assholish. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say, bring me your sick, your poor, and your thing, as long as they make a certain income, have our same religion, and that is not what it says. This country was founded on religious freedom, so saying that somebody can't come over here and practice their religion is bullshit. Now, they shouldn't be allowed to come over here and force their religion on other people as much as we shouldn't be allowed to force our religions on them.
Yeah.
But it's like, there is a line in the sand, and those lines in the sand are constantly being crossed. There's lots of not right out there. And that's what I challenge. That's always been what I've challenged. You have no idea how many times I've been confused with a Satanist. We put out an album called 42 over 666. We made an open challenge before we released the album. We give a free signed copy of it and a t-shirt to anybody who can guess the meaning of that name. You should have heard some of the ridiculous responses that we got. They see the number 666, and they immediately go, "Oh, Satan!" And it's like, 666 represents the path of excess. 42, if you've ever seen The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is the meaning of life. So 42 over 666 is literally, the meaning of life is the path of excess. So enjoy your life as much as fucking possible. That is what that means. It just means enjoy life. But it was fun.
Yeah, sure.
It was lots of fun.
Yeah, put mystery in there.
Yeah. I like to make people think.
Right.
I write lyrics and I write music that is meant to inspire people to think. And like we've come into an era where mumble rap is big. It's like, how the fuck is this big? You got some talented motherfuckers out there, and they're losing out to.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all.
One of the biggest musicians in the world right now is Post Malone. How?
Yeah.
His name literally means after auto-tune. So the dude is so untalented that he took a name that represents what is helping him be talented. So why listen to him? Why not just get like one of those speak and says that what Stephen Hawking used to use?
Yeah.
Auto-tune that shit, put it over top of the thing, and just stop making stupid people famous.
I'm kind of surprised he got Ozzy to work with him. That
Money
was
will get
surprising.
anything. The dude's got money, and that's how he got famous.
Yeah.
You know, that literally is how it is. The rags to riches thing in the music scene doesn't exist anymore. Nobody's scouting new talent. Everybody's looking for, like, I've been offered quite a few record deals in Disgraced. Quite a few. I've been offered everything from Century Media to Roadrunner Records.
Oh, wow.
To, yeah. And it's always the same shit. You give us $15,000, we'll make you a CD. You give us another $10,000, we'll distribute it.
Well, then that's kind of your expense, and, you know.
Yeah, but then they want 70% of all of the fucking return. And I'm like, wait a minute, I paid for this. What did you invest?
Right.
Other than your connections towards getting this stuff distributed? Why am I getting 30% and you're getting 70%? And then that was like, I had a record studio get a hold of me while John Doe was still in the band, and he got pissed because I asked them what they were offering. And they didn't have anything to offer. Like, well, this isn't how it works. No record label is going to take you seriously. I've already had record labels take me seriously. So explain to me what you're bringing to the table with your representation. And that's the thing that we've gotten away from. We're so oversaturated with people who want to be famous that they don't take the time to realize that not everybody can be famous. Not everybody is talented. And doing something for the sake of doing it isn't always a good thing.
You're right.
So when you oversaturate, you make it harder for those who are talented. You know, like talented bands that I respect. Look at, I'll use just the Erie scene, okay? Now, whether there's beef or not, I don't care. There's a band called Joe Nameless.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're a very talented band.
Yeah.
They may or may not be involved in some of the things against me. I'm not going to say either way. I know the answer to this. I don't care. They are a very talented band. But they're stuck in a rut that they'll never get out of because the scene doesn't work together. Everybody wants everybody to work for them. And it's like, that's not what we built this scene for. I was involved in the building of this scene. I was in the scene during the 90s when we built the 814 scene, when we built the Lake Effect hardcore scene, when we spanned that shit all the way from Buffalo to Detroit fucking Michigan. And further, I believe we got all the way into Wisconsin. I think we went to Madison, Wisconsin, or Milwaukee, Wisconsin was the farthest that we went. We had a fucking strip, and everybody worked together. We didn't care the genre. We would put punk bands with metal bands. We would put ska bands with hardcore bands. We had a lineup of talent. There were bands that liked each other so much that they would just learn each other's music. There's a show that I played in 1996 where there were 8 bands on the lineup, and I played guitar in 4 of them and sang for 1 of them.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, because I had the equipment. Like if somebody was missing an amp, or what we would do is whoever had the best equipment, their equipment would stay on stage. Everybody took care of the shit, and you know we all made sure that the best sound and the best show was out there. And that doesn't happen anymore. That does not happen anymore. How we doing on battery life?
We're all right.
Good.
We got a bar left.
We got a whole bar. Whole bar. Man, now I'm thirsty.
Did you like something?
No, I'm good. It was an alcohol reference, but I don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Me either. It's not good for you.
No, it's not. And it's funny because like I listen to all these dumbass kids singing "Party Like a Rock Star," and I'm sitting there like, when you've been on a 4-day cocaine binge and you've drank more booze than anyone else should be able to handle and live through, don't sing that song, you dumbass kid. Don't sing that song. You can listen to it. It's a good song. I like that song. But I have Party Like a Rock Star. I know what it's about.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. It is fun. I'm not going to lie. It is fun, but it's not healthy. I don't recommend it. A lot of people have died partying like a rock star.
Yeah.
One of my very good friends in the 814 scene, Jason Rainey. He was one of the most talented drummers I've ever seen in my life. He died at 23 years old because he partied like a rock star, and I miss him to death. I do. There's not a day that goes by I don't think about him. And it was one of the decisions that when he died, it was one of the things that inspired me to stop a lot of the drugs and shit that I was doing and calm down. But I'm sure he's not happy with the state of the scene right now because he was a big proliferator of scene unity too. And
yeah.
It really sucks.
That's what I try to do. But
good luck.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process.
It's like everybody wants to walk into the venue swinging their band dick, but it's like they're like, eh. And I'm just like, I don't want to swing my band dick. I just want to put on a good show.
Yeah.
I don't care who plays when. There was a band that I played with a couple years ago. They're not together anymore, so I'll list their name. They were Demons Within.
Oh yeah, Cleveland band.
Are they still together?
No, they're
okay, good. If they're not together anymore, then I'll continue the story. We were playing a show at the Cove. We were the headlining band. They came in throwing a fucking fit that they should be bigger than us, and they should do their thing. And we're like, okay, cool. If they want to play after us, let them play after us. So, we just went out and we put on we played twice as hard because someone, put us to the challenge. And that's the way it's supposed to be, Go out there and put your show to the test. Be the best rock star you can be. Be the best musician you can be. Let your show speak for you. If you have to speak for yourself, you're speaking on deaf ears at that point. Because the show is supposed to speak to you. And if it doesn't speak to you, you're trying to speak to others. You ain't saying shit.
Right. Totally understood. This has been a pretty long interview, so we'll probably we'll wind her down now.
I'm down with whatever.
What do you got going on? How can people get
if you have a smartphone,
Disgraced?
If you have a smartphone, it doesn't matter what kind of smartphone it is. If you go to your music distributor on said smartphone, you can find us there. The name of the album is 42/666. It's on Google Play. It's on iTunes. It's on Band Everything. Whatever. It's like 46 different things that has been released on digitally. You can find us on Reverb Nation, www.reverbnation.com/disgraced. You can find us on Facebook, Facebook/disgraced. You can find us on everything. Anything out there. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on... I don't know, because it's been a long time since I've read the contract of what we've signed up for as far as distribution goes.
Yeah.
But we got that. We got the new CD coming out, Carnival Genesis. We got the new show coming out. We got our 20-year anniversary coming up. We are far from dead. Like, we've just been taking some time off to build up some funds so that we can make this stuff happen, because, nobody becomes rich being a rock star anymore.
Right.
You do it because you love it,
sure.
and you invest money in it, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So as soon as we have the money to make this happen, we're going to come off like more fire time! We're going to do it up! And we're going to do what we've always done. We're going to put foot to ass, and we're going to kick ass in the name of 814. Whether 814 is behind us or not, we don't give a fuck!
Alrighty then. Well, it was good meeting you.
Absolutely, sir.
And, interview with Mark from Disgraced. Stage name?
Priest.
Interview with Priest from Disgraced. Keep it heavy, everybody.